Greetings.
I have lost the spell!
How do you do?
Right. Casting, focus.
Greetings. Well, that didn't work.
How do you do?
Oops! Where is my head? Not even a scratch?
Charmed, I'm sure.
It didn't work! I need something new!
You were born amidst the Dalish elves, noble wanderers who refused to join the society of humans that subjugated their homeland so long ago. The Dalish travel the land in tightly knit clans, struggling to maintain their half-forgotten lore in a human world that fears and despises them. You spend your time hunting with your clanmate Tamlin in the forests, and as is sometimes the case, your quarry is not always the local wildlife.
It's a Dalish!
And you three are somewhere you shouldn't be.
Let us pass, Elf. You have no right to stop us.
No? We will see about that, won't we? You're just in time. I found these humans lurking in the bushes. Bandits, no doubt.
We aren't bandits, I swear. Please don't hurt us.
You Shemlin are pathetic. It's hard to believe you ever drove us from our homeland.
We've never done nothing to you, Dalish. We didn't even know this forest was yours.
This forest isn't ours, fool. You've stumbled too close to our camp. You Shems are like vermin. We can't trust you not to make mischief. What do you say, Lethalon? What should we do with him? Does it matter? Hunting or banditry, we'll need to move camp if we let them live.
Look, we didn't come here to be trouble. We just found a cave.
Yes, a cave. With ruins like I've never seen. We thought there might be,
Treasure? So you're more akin to thieves than actual bandits.
But I have proof. Here, we found this just inside the entrance.
This stone has carvings. Is this Elvish? Written Elvish?
There's more in the ruins. We didn't get very far in, though.
I've seen something similar on the Keeper's scrolls. And this is all you found? Why didn't you look for more?
There was a demon. It was huge with black eyes. Thank the Maker we were able to outrun it.
A demon. Where is this cave?
Just off the west, I think. There's a cave in the rock face and a huge hole just inside.
Well, do you trust them? Shall we let them go? Yes. One could expect no less from a Shem. This will not take long. Well, shall we see if there's any truth to this story? These carvings make me curious. She might be interested in these carvings, but let's see if there's anything more before we get excited. Besides, we're already here. Now, they said it was to the west. Come on already, let's look for this cave. They said it was to the west.
And so I shall.
This must be the cave. I don't recall seeing this before, do you? My thoughts exactly. With luck, we'll find something that will make us clan heroes. It looks like the Shem was telling the truth. But these ruins look more human than elven.
Delighted. See there? It's a trap.
This place makes me nervous. I'm not sure. This looks like a very old human place. Why would they build this? And why would elven artifacts be here? Maybe some of our ancestors lived here. In caves, like the dwarves. I'll stick to roaming the land myself. She takes any opportunity to gather elven lore. When the clans come together, they exchange whatever they found. She shouldn't come without hunters to guard her, though. The air here feels so... sinister. Well, whatever it is, it won't stop me. A Dalish hunter fears nothing. This place makes me nervous. I'm not sure. This looks like a very old human place. Why would they build this? And why would elven artifacts be here? Maybe some of our ancestors lived here. In caves, like the dwarves. I'll stick to roaming the land myself. The Keeper said it took a long time for slavery to erase our ancestors' history. Maybe whoever lived here still wrote and spoke Elven. It does feel sinister here, doesn't it? Well, whatever it is, it won't stop me. A Dalish hunt...
I would watch out were I you. See there? That's a trap.
Now this could be amusing. Ha-ha! Here we go!
I would watch out were I you.
I'm on it. Everything feels...
We go to combat! Another foe fallen!
Can't believe this. You recognize this statue, don't you? Back when our people lived in Arlathan, statues like these honored the creators. When the Shems enslaved us, much of that lore was lost. This looks like human architecture, with the statue of our people. Can these ruins date back to the time of our Lathan? I'd never have guessed ancient elves might have lived here, with humans.
And so I shall.
Were those walking corpses? This place is haunted. This place makes me nervous. I suppose so. Hey, weren't you supposed to be assisting Master Verathorn today? How did you end up coming with me? I thought that might be the case. I'm glad. Let's just find whatever's here and get out. We can talk later. This place makes me nervous. I saw a picture of it in one of those old books the Keeper never lets anyone touch. It was one of the old gods. The Keeper called him a friend of the dead. Maybe if you paid more attention when we were fledglings, you'd know yourself. He was a guide who took people across the Spirit Land to their final rest in the beyond. But he wasn't an evil god, not like Fen'Harel, the Great Wolf. It doesn't seem right that a place so wrong would be his. Harren Pyval once said that in places where many people died, it can become Seth and Aeron, a land of waking dreams. The veil becomes weak and spirits slip into our world. Then they possess corpses and walk around. It's hard to imagine anything else could live here with these creatures. Still, worse things may be ahead. This place reeks of something wrong. Can you feel it? Let's press on. I want to know how our people were involved with this. I'm not sure. This looks like a very old human place. But maybe some of our ancestors lived here. In caves, like the dwarves. This place makes me nervous. I'm no storyteller. All I remember of the Harren's tales is that a veil separates our world from the spirit world. He said that spirits are jealous of us, and always try to steal our souls. They want to be like us so badly, they'll even possess our dead, which drives them insane. But for them to enter our world, the veil must be weak. Is that why this place feels so strange? I doubt it would be that easy. More likely we'd get possessed too. Lead on, Lethaline.
As you desire.
fight!
Why they bother?
By the creators! What was that thing? This place makes me nervous. Lead on, Lethaline.
All right.
It's beautiful, isn't it? I wonder what the writing says. Not that we'd leave a fingerprint on it. See how clean it is? Not a single smudge or crack. I wonder what this writing is for. Maybe this isn't... Hey, did you see that? I think something moved inside the mirror. Look, don't you see it? There it is again. Can you feel that? I think it knows we're here. I just need to take a closer look. It's showing me places. I can see some kind of city. Underground. And there's a great blackness. It saw me. Help! I can't look away!
Can you hear me? I am very sorry.
You're awake. You've the god's own luck, Lethaline. You're back at camp. Everyone is worried sick about you. How do you feel? We don't know. The Shem who brought you here saw no sign of him. Oh, the Keeper's not going to like that. But I doubt those Shems have anything to do with the one who found you. He was a Grey Warden and appeared out of nowhere with you slung over his shoulder. You were delirious with fever. He said that he found you outside a cave in the forest, unconscious and alone. He left you here and ran off again. The Keeper's been using the old magic to heal you. So he claimed. I just wish he'd told us where that cave was. Most of the hunters are looking for it right now. But the Keeper wanted to talk to you as soon as you awoke. Stay here. I'll get her.
I see you are awake, Dalan. It is fortunate Duncan found you when he did. I know not what dark power held you, but it nearly bled the life from you. It was difficult even for my magic to keep you alive. If he encountered the same thing you did? Yes. The Grey Warden said he found you alone outside a cave, already stricken. Duncan thought there may have been darkspawn creatures inside the cave. Is that true? Walking corpses? Dark magic, but not darkspawn. I know not what the other creatures might have been. What else did you find? What is the last thing you remember? A mirror. And it caused all this? I have never heard of such a thing in all the lore we have collected. I was hoping for answers when you woke, but there are only more questions. And Tamlin remains missing. He is more important than any lore in these ruins. If he is as sick as you were, his condition is grave. Duncan returned to the cave to search for Darkspawn, but we cannot rely on him to look for Tamlin as well. We must go ourselves, and quickly. Do you feel well enough to show us the way, Dallin? Without you, we will not find it. Your fever broke, and the signs of whatever illness snared you are gone. But truthfully, I don't know if you are free from it or not. I wish I knew more. Still, you seem well enough now. We must watch your condition, but without you we will not find this cave. I am relieved to hear it. I am ordering the clan to pack the camp so we can go north. Take Merrill with you to the cave. Find Tamlin if you can, but do it swiftly. If there is any truth to what Duncan said, then Darkspawn may show up in these parts soon. We must get away from that horde. But that is not our only concern. Did you encounter any other humans out in the forest? So I feared. You have stirred up a hornet's nest, Dallin. Their village blames us for your actions. As everywhere, our people are not welcome here. We have stayed too long, and we must move on, quickly. Our clan could slaughter their entire village if we cared to, but at the cost of bringing their king's rage down on our heads. These people are simple and have simple fears. This is their land, so we will go peacefully. I would be lying if I said I was not. But whatever knowledge lies in that cave is not worth our children. I send you back with hopes of finding Tamlin, and that is all. Go quickly, for Tamlin's life hangs in the balance. Remember that Tamlin needs your help. They destroyed the last horde of Darkspawn to threaten the surface centuries ago. It doesn't mean they extinguished them all. Darkspawn are savage, uncultured creatures, more akin to locusts than men. They may have befouled the cave, but they did not build what is there. From the Warden's description, it may have been a temple devoted to an old god. Should we return, I may see it for myself. Darkspawn are filthy, diseased beasts that taint the very air around them. The Grey Warden seemed to think your illness came from this taint. Since you did not meet any Darkspawn, I don't see how that could be. No doubt he was mistaken. They are mostly boogeymen, used to frighten human children. In modern times, they are rarely seen on surface lands. But rumor holds that great numbers dwell in the ancient tunnels of the Dragonage, the dwarves. They obliterate all that is in their path. Like a plague of locusts, they spread disease and misery when they come to the surface. An event to be feared, without doubt. The old tomes say Darkspawn come in as many varieties as surface creatures. They also say that many Darkspawn are seen only during what the humans call a blight. Perhaps your bear monster was one of those. Then do not tarry. Find Tamlin quickly. When Tamlin's life is at stake? Oh, very well. Not quite, Dallin. After they defeated the Darkspawn long ago, the Grey Warden's numbers diminished greatly over the centuries. It seems the humans have little use for them if Darkspawn aren't actively raising their lambs. I suppose the thought of Darkspawn returning one day did not occur to them. The Grey Warden thinks so. A war may be in the offing. If so, we must get as far away from it as possible. Let the humans fight their battles, as we must fight our own. He seemed honorable, and his care for your safety speaks well of him. I trust my judgment. He said he'd been looking for our clan, and had a hint of our whereabouts. As I said, you were fortunate. It is possible he sought a volunteer to join their order. Indeed. The Grey Wardens once consisted of the best from all races. I know of no Dalish joining them since the days of the Darkspawn Wars, however. They are the best and most noble of all races, Dalen. Few can achieve their standards. Then do not tarry. Find Tamlin quickly. Master Island can help you. Go to him and ask to see his stock.
It's good to see you healthy. We feared you would perish.
It's good to see you healthy. We feared you would perish.
I'm glad you survived. Losing 2 of our young would be a great blow to the clan. Are you going to help look for Tamlin?
I miss Tamlin.
Lost somewhere out there.
I want him to come home. I miss Tamlin.
So you have returned to us, Dalen. We are grateful you're whole and well. The Shemlan, eh? And I suppose the Shemlan dragged you into that cave, twisted your arms to prevent you from coming to tell the Keeper of it first. Once you saw what was inside, you should have returned. But you kept exploring, didn't you? I suppose your youth can be forgiven. Sadly, Tamlin pays the price. Losing you would be a terrible crime, Dalen. You belong to more than just yourself, or do you not remember? Would you even know the reason behind your efforts? I wonder. Let us tell these children of the fall of the Dales. You can honor me by sharing in the telling. All Dalish should know this tale, and hold its lessons close to heart. Children, hear of the fall of the Dales. Hear the tale of what makes you Dalish. Would you care to begin, Dalen? Yes, slaves to a terrible empire the humans built on the darkest magic. When it fell, we became free. We built a homeland in the Dales, worshipping the creators, and rebuilding the culture and history we lost in our long years of slavery. They were resentful, because we would not worship their gods, and because we put our people first. Over the years, their nations grew cold toward the Dales. In their eyes, we were blasphemers and cruel tyrants. And so the Dales fell. They took our lands and dispersed our people, forcing us to live in their cities and abandon our gods. But many of us refused to relinquish our ways. We instead chose to scatter to the winds, wandering the lands. To survive and preserve our culture, the clans stay apart until the day the Elvenon have a homeland once more. All right, that's quite enough out of you. We shall then return the old ways to those of our people who have lost them. We are the Dalish, keepers of the lost lore, walkers of the lonely path. The Oath of the Dales, and no smart-mouthed comment. Thank the creators for small mercies. I will let you get back to your tasks. I pray you find Tamlin quickly. I've never heard of such a thing. But in the days of ancient Arlathan, we lived free and spread far across the continent. We were as varied as the Shemlin, though fewer in number. Perhaps some of us lived in caves then, but all knowledge from that era is lost. Only that they eat living flesh, and lurk in underground tunnels, once ruled by the Dergenlen, the dwarves. In the last blight long ago, the Grey Wardens all but wiped them out. Should they return, all races will shudder. The one who brought you back? Very little. He seemed decent enough as humans go. As for Grey Wardens, they're heroes without a doubt. Members of our own clan joined their ranks in ages past. Now that's something I rarely hear. Of course. Ah, yes. The Lost City. Before the Shemlen enslaved us, even before they came to this part of the world, our people lived in glorious Arlathan. Legends say that our ancestors were immortal, and we possessed magic the Shemlen could only dream of. When the humans enslaved us, they took away our language, our history, and our immortality. We quickened to the pace of life, and retained nothing of ourselves. We were slaves for so long, that even when we became free, there was little for us to recover. If books still exist, I do not know of them. Perhaps they have no choice. Dalish clans are scattered to the winds and rarely gather, which makes us difficult for any organized effort to destroy. And why bother? We have nothing they want. No land, no treasure. And we always move on, allowing no one to grow too angry with us. Some might see this as cowardly, but we are proud. We are the last, and we will survive. They remain in human cities, forgetting all they once had. We call them Flat Ears, but they differ little from their Shemlen masters. A few may return, but we must accept that they know nothing of the lore, or why we keep it. We can hope to find a new home one day, where the Dalish and the Flat Ears will build a land greater even than Arlathan. We shall teach the Flat Ears the lore they lost, and perhaps they will teach us to understand the Shemlen at last. That is the only way we shall truly live in peace. Then I'm sure you have much to do, unless you've other questions. Of course. May the gods guide your path, Dalen.
As you desire.
It's good to see you healthy. We feared you would perish.
Is the Keeper sending you back to that cave to look for Tamlin? Yes. The clan's been talking about it since that Grey Warden brought you back. I want to go with you. Keeper Marathari probably won't approve, but I can help find Tamlin. Tamlin's my friend too. I want to help find him. If Meryl can risk it, so can I. Then ask her. I'll go with you and we'll ask her together. She can't say no to both of us. Good. Let's go talk to the Keeper.
I see you have not left with Meryl yet. Is there something you need? Fenarel? Are you certain? I'm already putting Meryl at risk. I don't want to lose you too.
I want to help, Keeper. If we can find Tamlin, it's worth the risk.
Very well, then. You have my permission. And thank you for asking for it.
When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
Are you going to help look for Tamlin? Oh, poor boy. Lost somewhere out there. Thank the creators. We were sure we'd lose you last night.
How could Tamlin be lost? He knows this area well.
Anathara, it's good to see you recovered. They fare well. The Keeper called for the clan to move on, and they will be ready to take us. One is heavy with calf, but it shouldn't be a problem. May I ask of Tamlin's fate? Some say the clan will leave before we find him. The Hala mourn our fallen. No sound is more heart-wrenching than their mourning cry. At least they won't be crying over you. They are quite fond of you. I admire them for their strength and pride. They are equals, not servants like the Shemlin horses. At any rate, I do not envy the Keeper's decision. I'll pray for Tamlin's safe return.
All right.
Can we trust this Grey Warden? How do we know he didn't hurt Tamlin? He's been looking for Tamlin since the Grey Warden brought you back.
When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
The Keeper told me I'm to accompany you back to those caves. As her apprentice, I may see something you missed. But our main objective is to find Tamlin, of course. We must make haste. He may not have much time. Master Island could help you, but do not tarry.
Are you going to help look for Tamlin?
Losing Tamlin would be a bad
Lost
sign.
somewhere out there.
He's one
I
of our
miss
most
Tamlin.
promising hunters.
I want him to come home.
By the creators, it is so good to see you whole and well. I was so worried. All that time you were ill, the Keeper didn't know if you were going to live or die. I've been outside the Keeper's tent the whole time. I have never been so relieved as when I heard you would pull through. What happened? Everyone says Tamlin may be dead. That's awful. I know how much you and the lad care for each other. It was always my hope that you two... well, let's not dwell on it. You must be more careful. Your mother and father, may they rest in peace, would be horrified to see you take such risks. What happened to them is a sad tale, and it's in the past. Reopening old wounds benefits no one. You've much to do tonight, with Tamlin still missing. I will tell you another time.
Can we trust this Grey Warden? How do we know he didn't hurt Tamlin? It's good to see you healthy. We feared you would perish.
Hello there. I don't think we...
Ah, it's good you're well. You weren't here when Paul arrived, were you?
I've heard of you. Everyone is talking about you and the other missing hunter. A Grey Warden brought you back here. That obvious, is it? I just found your camp a couple of days ago. A lucky thing. I heard rumors in a nearby human village that a Dalish camp was close, and I hope to find your hunters in the forest.
You were fortunate I didn't shoot you, Paul. I thought you were a Shem, and a bandit at that. You're not the first city elf to rejoin his people. I'm sure he'll find life among us more satisfying than with the Shems, if no less harsh.
In the alienage, we hear terrible stories about the Dalish. They aren't true, right? Ha! That's funny. It is funny, right? You don't actually do that.
I'm training Paul.
It was good to meet you. Perhaps I'll get to hunt with you someday. You've never been to a city? Surely you've at least visited a town.
We occasionally trade with the Shemlin in small villages, but only a few in the clan can undertake that task.
I can't imagine never having seen a city. It's crowded, with buildings all squeezed together. There are people everywhere, and it always stinks. Only if they're servants. Most of us live in a part of the city called an alienage, separated from the humans by walls. That's where all the poorest folk live. Laborers, dockhands, and thieves. And that's if you're lucky. We don't think about it like that. To most folks, that's just how it is. Andraste's mercy, no. No one is allowed to walk around with any weapon. Fighting just gets you arrested. And I've never had to leave the city before. Much less learn how to hunt. Well, back in the city we hear the same about you. Stories about Dalish bandits attacking people for no reason.
We would never resort to banditry.
I'm just saying that's what we hear. And it's elves who say these things too, not humans. Even if they did, I honestly don't think most of them would want to leave. Wandering and hunting doesn't sound like much of a life.
At least they would live as free men, and as equals.
Maybe. But to most elves I know, the only difference between them and humans is how much coin they have. Coin is the great equalizer, not living free. I got into trouble for stealing. I'm not a thief. We just never really had a choice. Mother was a maid, and I was lucky if I could get work at the docks. You make a living however you can, right? When Mother died, I got drunk and was caught picking a guard's pocket. They were going to hang me, but I escaped and, well, here I am. I'll do my best to adjust and fit in. I never dreamed you'd be so welcoming. I thought at best you might hide me for a bit. I'm glad I was wrong. Of course. I hope to see you again.
I'm glad you've recovered. Once we find Tamlin, we can concentrate on the journey northward.
Thank you for the bow, Master Island. It is light and sturdy, much better than the one I made last year.
You are more than welcome. My father made it and used it in battle against the Clane tribes.
I will carry it with honor.
One of my own crafting, perhaps? It may not have a history, but you'll provide one for it soon enough, yes? Then I am proud to tell it. Our clan was one of the first to flee the Dales. When we came to Ferelden, the fiercest of the Shemlin were the barbarians known as the Clane. We didn't wait for them to attack us. Every Dalish clan in Ferelden united to bring the battle to them. In Ferelden, in Orlais, wherever there are lands the humans cannot hold, we bring our Aravels. You met some at the last gathering. The ensuing battle went well for us. That day we carved out our reputation of being the deadliest archers. Our arrows won us the right to wander these woods at will. It was this very bow that my father used that day.
Thank you for the tale, Master Island, and especially the bow. I will honor its history.
We are all the same clan. His hand is as my hand. I have relinquished nothing. It was my father who first spoke of the Vir Tanadal, the three ways of the hunter. The first is the Vir Asan, the way of the arrow, to reach for our goal unrelenting. The second is the Vir Borasan, the way of the bow, to bend but not to break. The last is the Vir Adalen, the way of the wood. We are as ancient as the forests, each tree a part of the greater land. All Dalish are united in this. One day, we shall have a homeland again. Of course, take whatever you need.
You're back. Are you ready to go now? Enough to pique my interest and my concern. You can explain the rest on the way. A little, but the Keeper cured you. How dangerous could it be? Even if I get sick, finding Tamlin or something valuable will be worth it. That depends on the Keeper. I thought we're supposed to go alone. That's good enough for me. Now, are we ready? Then let us make haste while daylight lasts. Darkspawn? I've never seen anything like them. You can smell the evil on them. Where did they come from? Were they here before? Or he followed them. But why would they come here? And why would he? Well, we'll find out soon enough. Let's hope we don't find any more of these monsters. Before we go, are you all right? Were you hurt during the fight?
You do look quite pale, now that Meryl's mentioned it.
Nothing. Forget I said anything. Let's go.
As you desire.